Hi everyone, we are at show 200. Can you believe it? Over 200 shows, we have talked about everything from ageism to bullying to conversations you need to have with your children, preparing for retirement, driving, downsizing, medications, falls. We've talked about so much, but underlying all of it has been a theme of independence. Now, everybody defines independence differently. Some are more fierce, like me. Others take a more gentle approach and are willing over time to make compromises that maybe give a little independence to get something that they value more. It's not up to me, and it never has been, to tell you how to live your life, how to be independent. However, I have kind of taken on the role of showing you options, maybe giving you a little kick in the butt from time to time, but hopefully instilling the idea that you need to be proactive about your life. If you don't make decisions, other people will make them, and they may not be the decisions that you really like. So over this period of time, I've become certified to assess residential environments. Fall and injury prevention has always been my number one love, but a lot of falls, in fact, the majority, happen in the home. So, one thing led to another. So I'm now certified to go into residential environments and assess the home for safety, make recommendations and suggestions about modifications that you can make. Remember that, as I've told you in the past, basic home design hasn't changed since the 50s. And more, there is a tendency to build cookie cutter homes without much diversion in the way of modifications that would help you live a better life. In fact, the kind of modifications we generally talk about are modifications that would make everybody have a better life in their residences. Whether you've got babies or you have a progressive disease or you are aging into various challenges. Some modifications are specific to the individual's needs. For instance, if you have Parkinson's, that's a progressive disease, and it would be my job to look several years out and decide what your home needs to look like then in order to help you have a better life. So home modifications, abundantly fascinating to me. I am now going through a course which will allow me to audit commercial and public spaces. So the same thing, just other spaces. So it makes a nice round picture in terms of how we can all live our lives in a better way in the environments that we cope with. Many people can't come home from hospital or function properly in their lives until they have certain modifications done. If they have had a fall, if they've had a car crash, if their progressive disease has led to something that makes them unable to live in that environment. Most commonly, it's getting into and out of your home safely, and it's having a bathroom that you can function in accordance with the need that you have. So those kinds of things tend to be fairly standard. But, my interest has grown largely because of my conversations with you. Yes, the emails that you send me, the comments that you leave on these videos, the comments that are made regarding the articles that we publish on the oldish.com, they all matter, and I read every single one of them, and they really do inform me about what you need to know and the next steps that you would like me to talk about. Falls, as I said, are a great way to lose independence if that's something that you ever think about, but it's just such a bigger issue now, not only with falls, but living in our own homes. Through the pandemic, a lot of people became absolutely convinced that they wanted to stay in their own homes. It's a matter, though, of being able to stay there safely and independently. if you've got all kinds of money, you can bring all the services to you and you never have to leave your home. And I'm sure that that is the case for a segment of the population. It's not the case for me, and it's not the case, I'm sure, for many of you. So I need to think about ways that I can stay safe and not give up my independence because I either have made the wrong decision or I haven't made a decision at all. Many people become absolutely frozen when it comes time to start making decisions. They don't know the options. They don't know which way to turn. Being frozen, though, isn't making decisions. Unless you consider the fact that not making a decision is kind of making a decision. We want you to have the tools to make proper decisions that are specific to your needs and your circumstances. So, in order to do that, we need to understand the options that are available. We need to understand the consequences of our decisions. We need to understand the consequence if we don't make a decision as well. So, I hope that you will join me for the next 200 episodes as we explore more topics that are of interest. If there's something in particular that you're struggling with or that you would like to see discussed or researched a little bit, let me know. I get scads of private messages, so don't be shy about that. Nobody needs to understand that it is you that is having this challenge. Perfectly happy to answer private messages and to act on the things that I can act on. So until next week, when we start with the next series of 200 episodes, be well, be kind to one another. Take care. Bye. And thank you very much for being with me for 200 episodes.